Good. And fellow comrades, welcome again. In today's session, as I promised, I will come with a question on matrix to solve the unknown, the values of x and y using the matrix method. And now we have learned how to determine the inverse, the determinant, and the adjoint using in the matrix 2 by 2. We are going now to solve a question for finding the unknowns using the matrix method. But the matrix method now will be what? Will be the 2 by 2 matrix. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, share to others also to benefit. Good. So the question will come, consider a system of linear equation. Consider a system of linear equation. Consider system of linear equation. Semicolon. Solve value of x and y. Solve values of x and y. Using inverse matrix method. Good. Inverse matrix method. Then we have been given here x plus 4y is equals to 2. Then we have been given negative x minus 3y is equals to 2, is equals to 1. Good. You realize this is a linear equation, and this linear equation we know very well we can solve it using substitution method, elimination method, name them. But the question wants us to use the inverse matrix method. It's very easy. Just follow step by step as you are going to do it now. 1, you'll have to arrange in order to get the coefficients. We have to arrange in order so that we can get what? The coefficients. So the first thing we'll have to do, we have to arrange. So that we can get the coefficient. Arrange. And how do you arrange? From this, we just get now our matrix there. So from that, let us name this matrix, our matrix, we can name it A, because we want to get the coefficients. So here you can see it's x. X is just the same as to say 1x. So it is just simply means the value that is here is 1. You see? 4y, remember 4y here, just positive 4y. So it means here we have what? 4. Just follow step by step. The first step, we are doing what? We are arranging to get the coefficients so that we can proceed. Now, we are done with the first equation. The second equation, here we have negative x, meaning here it will be negative 1. Then, here we have negative 3, meaning here it will be what? It will be negative 3. That is our coefficient for the first matrix. We'll also have another matrix, B, which we already have it here, so it will be values of 2 and 1. Good. But this one will come in when we are already done with the matrix A. We want to do something with the matrix A. Now, after we have arranged that, you can see we have here matrix A. Then we have matrix B. So we have matrix A and B. So those are our two matrices. Now, comrades, next, what do you know? Next, we will focus, because we have been told to find the inverse, and we know very well to get the inverse of any matrix. To get inverse of any matrix, let's say now inverse of any matrix A, remember, we normally say it's determinant, 1 over determinant, you multiply by the adjoint. Now, for that case, we'll have to do what? Let us find the determinant of which matrix now? Matrix A. Then I will show you how we are going to determine what? Values of x and y. At the end of the day, we have to come up with the values of x and y. Now, matrix A, our matrix A here, it is 1, 4, -1, -3. So this is our matrix. To get the determinant, you remember in the last video, I said you multiply the major diagonal, which the major diagonal here is 1 and -3. That is the major diagonal, this one. You multiply this one, the major diagonal, which is 1, multiplied by -3. You close the bracket. You multiply now the minor diagonal, which is 4 and -1. So it will be minus, in bracket, 4 multiplied by -1. That is the minor diagonal. So here our determinant will be now -3, -1 multiplied by -4, it will be +4. So our determinant in this case will be -3 plus 4, it is 1. So our determinant for this case is 1. Good. Now we have to get also now the inverse of matrix B. And to get inverse, we have to get the adjoint of this matrix, matrix A. For this case, adjoint, now our matrix A is here. Let me write the matrix A is here very well. We have 1, 4, -1, -3. Now, adjoint for this case, adjoint for this matrix, we said you will swipe the values of the major diagonal. When I say the major diagonal, I mean this one. The 1, 3, -3. It's a major diagonal. So we are going to swipe the values. In this case, here, where 1 is, we'll put here -3. Then here, down here, we'll put 1. I've swiped. That is the first thing we are going to do in the major diagonal. What about what will happen in the minor diagonal? Minor diagonal is this one of 4 and -1. We are going to negate. Negate meaning we are going to multiply with a negative in that diagonal. Every value in that diagonal, we are going to multiply with a negative. Now, it will be now 4 multiplied by a negative, it will be -4. 1, -1 multiplied with a negative, that is positive, because a negative multiplied by a negative becomes a positive. So -1 multiplied by 1 negative, it becomes 1. So our adjoint for this case is -3, -4, 1, 1. Good. Now, what next now? We are just revising on what we had learned in our first class. We had learned how to find the adjoint. We had learned how to find the determinant. What has been added in this question is how to determine the values of x and y. Good. And how to do the multiplication now. Good. Now, what next now? Well, let us find the inverse. To find now the inverse of this matrix, matrix A1. So the inverse in this case, you know very well, to get the matrix, 1 over determinant multiplied by the adjoint. So it will be 1 over 1, which is our adjoint, multiply our determinant, multiplied by -3, -4, 1, 1. So for this case, our inverse for A, it will be -3, -4, 1, 1. Good. So this is our inverse. This is our inverse. This is our inverse. Good. So, if you have learned very well and you have understood up to inverse, I guarantee you, you have your 5 marks already in hand. So, you want to look for another 5 marks, which I assure you, if you just hang on my lips and follow the next step, sure you, they guarantee you the 5 marks, you are going to collect the all 10 marks. Now, next, let us now see how we can get the values of x and y. Now, with our inverse, I'll move with it to the next part. Let us move with it to the next part, then we see how we will multiply. Now, good. Now, let me write my question here so that we can know what is going on. We had our equation very well. X plus 4y. Then it was equals to 2. Then we had negative x. Negative plus negative x minus 3y is equals to what? 1. Then we arranged the values. Remember, we arranged very well, and we said after we arranged this, it was this way. It was this way. Then we were able to do what? Also to arrange this one. We had another one, and we had another one, x and y. X and y. And we have seen how to determine the inverse. We have done up to now the inverse. So the inverse of this matrix A, we have determined it is, we have negative 3, we have negative 4, and we have 1 and 1. So what has remained is just to see how we are going to get now the values of x and y. How to get the values of x and y. Good. Now, if you have your inverse, you realize we have to find the values of x, or to find the values of y, to find the values of x or y, you mean it will be the inverse. We multiply the inverse, we multiply by what? The matrix B. We call this one our matrix B. So we'll multiply by our matrix B. Good. Good. That is a 1 by 1 matrix. Because it has got a 1 row, okay, it is a 2 by 1. Because it has got 2 rows and 1 column. 2 rows and 1 column. Good. So we are going to multiply this. We want to see how we can multiply by 2 by 2 matrix by 2 by 1 matrix. That is the short, that is what we want to learn today. Now, if you have this, so meaning we have to multiply to get the values of x. We have to multiply now. This, negative 3, negative 4, 1, 1. We are multiplying by what? We are multiplying with 2, 1. To get the values of x and y. To get the values of x. And we have to get the values of x and y. Now see how this thing is very interesting. How interesting it is. To get the values of x, my good comrades, x, for this case, very simple. Just focus on this, the upper part of this, negative 3 and negative 4. We are going to multiply this row. You multiply by what? You multiply. Yes, you are going to take this. You also multiply by the negative, the next column. Good. The next column. Good. So it's very easy. It will be negative 3. Good. So it will be, we are going to multiply negative 3. You multiply by 2. This one here. You see? Then, so we are going to multiply this by this. You see? This by this. So, then negative 4 plus, you add negative 4 multiplied by 1. Remember, I've started by saying you focus on this upper part, the row on the upper, you multiply by the column of this one, of this 2 by 1 matrix. So this one, you see, negative 3, I picked this one, you multiply by 2, you add, plus negative 4, you multiply by this, 1. I think you have seen. Let me repeat. To get values of x, it will be negative 3 multiplied by 2, which I've done here, plus negative 4 multiplied by 1, which I've done here. So it means we will have what? It will be negative 6 plus negative 4. Because negative 4 multiplied by 1 is 4. It's what? It's negative 4. Good. So put in bracket. So it just means, it's just the same as to say negative 6 minus 4. So negative 6 minus 4 is what? We'll have negative 10. Negative 10. So your value for x is what? Negative 10. Good. But let us put here. So we have negative 10. Let us see the value of y. How do you get the value of y? Very easy. Very easy. We are done with the top. Let us go to the bottom. The lower part of that inverse there. So y, for this case, be very easy. It will be 1. This one, 1. You multiply by 2. You multiply by 2. Close the bracket. You add plus 1. This one, you multiply by this 1. Very easy. So it will be 2 plus 1. 2 plus 1. Meaning it will be what? 3. So my value for y for this case will be what? Value for y will be 3. So it will be here what? 3. Good. It will be 3. So you will just come and say now, my values of x and y, values of x and y is equals to x is equals to 10, negative 10, y is equals to 3. And you get your 10 marks. You get your 10 marks. You get your 10 marks. Good. So that is how we do matrix. That is how we do matrix. Very easy. When you have been asked to use the matrix method to find the values of x and y, it is very easy. That way, just find the determinant. Arrange first. Arrange. Get the coefficients the way we have done here. After that, you get the inverse. And you know very well to get the inverse, you have to get first the determinant of that. Then you get the adjoint. For you now to get the inverse. Because we say the inverse is, we get what? The determinant, you multiply by the adjoint, you will get the inverse. You get the inverse. Good. Then after that, you'll go ahead now to multiply the inverse, you multiply by the matrix B, which you have arranged the coefficients and you have it here. After that, you have seen how we have multiplied here. Very easy. Deal with the first part, the upper part. And then you multiply with the second matrix. They come to the lower part, multiply with the second matrix. Then you'll get your values of x and y. Remember to subscribe. That is what I can urge you. Because I have decided that mathematics is not going to be an obstacle and not anymore to us in our studies. We are going to conquer this mathematics. Just hang on the channel anytime. Click on that notification so that you can be getting the video when I upload, because I'll be giving everything in regards to the mathematics and accounts, financial accounting, that is cost accounting, management accounting, all those, name them. I'm going to do it here. Good. So in our next video, I'm coming to show you how now we can find the inverse, determinant, adjoint, and even to find the values of x and y in 3 by 3 matrix. 3 by 3 matrix. What do I mean by saying by 3 by 3 matrix? You can see, let me show you 3 by 3 matrix so you don't miss the class. Our you have seen our 2 by 2 matrix. It looks this way: A, B, C, and D. This is our 2 by 2 matrix, and you have seen how we have solved up to finding even the values of x and y. Now the 3 by 3 matrix, and we say this one because it has got 2 rows. It has got 2 rows and 2 columns. 2 rows and 2 columns. Good. Now the 3 by 3 matrix, it looks this way. The 3 by 3 matrix, a good one. A, B, C, B, E, F, G, H, I. You see, that is a 3 by 3 matrix. I'm coming. It is an interesting topic, matrix, which I won't wish you miss. Just make sure you subscribe so that you don't miss this. Because this one, you can see it has got three what? 3 rows? 3 rows, and it has got 3 columns. So we are coming to see how we can find the determinant of this, how we can get we can also get the inverse and also find the values of x and y. So for today, let me say bye-bye, and may God be with you wherever you are as you continue learning. May God be with you, and I say bye-bye.